Alrighty. Good morning. I'm Monocorp. I went over. I know we got the meeting tomorrow. I have some notes. We can go over. So it's a bit more organized than it was last time. My apologies about that. Yeah, we got lessons. We got 2 lessons today. Yeah, hey Beast. We got 2 lessons today. And boy, I'm thirsty. That just hit me right now. Let me go get that. It's like, wait a minute. I have human needs. This is bizarre. I did not account for this. Here, one moment. Oh, I can do this. So I got a playlist for the. I can do this. This is fun. Yeah, buddy. It's almost like it's starting soon. But not really. This is dangerous. Alrighty. Oh,
Is he convinced 5 of my friends and peers to take part in this? What the fuck? Yeah, and now people are going to be waiting for your response. Response? I can't even think of where to begin with this betrayal,
is it really
this
that loud?
chicanery. I thought I had people I could trust, but in this moment, I've never been more alone.
It's just, I think it's probably loud in comparison to my voice. Yeah, it's going to be louder than me by a chunk. Because I like to keep my dynamic range, so I like minus 12. It's actually kind of low. Whereas the song was like minus 6. I'll keep it at minus 12.
Faces and my
Well, that does take care of it. But,
alone,
anyway.
just alone. The ones you know can manage to drive the dagger so deep into your back. Could I ever come back from this? Should I see a psychiatrist? All these fucking snakes promise an apple and then take all they can take. I swear on my life that with all of my might I won't stop until everyone is dead.
Well, hold on. Yeah, what's the problem? What was all that? What,
You
you mean the song?
Yes. So to work on...
It wasn't even that good. Was it really that bad? I'm...
Sorry. That's a global fader. Okay, my bad. Still hearing in mono? I don't know what to tell you. In OBS, it's in stereo. Anyway. Oh, never mind. Just the track. Okay. Anyway, sorry. So to work on intonation, while you're developing your ability to hear the pitch, we cannot rely necessarily on your ear to discern when something is on pitch or off. So what we can do is we can use vision, and that way you can see when you're off pitch, and then you'll start to correct that over time. So we're going to step away from Musebox specifically, and we're going to just do scales with, I think, pitch reader, because it's a simplified thing. I think it's pinned in Sing and Talk and Share, I believe. Let me answer.
I can just go to the site
Yeah.
off cuff.
Yeah, pitchreader.com. Now, Now, I prefer
Let's see if my
solfege.
machine likes this.
Yeah. So the settings I like to use. If you want to share your screen, actually, I can guide you through it. I can share my screen. Let's do that. All right. Okay. So the setting I like to use is do, re, mi, because we're going to use solfege. Okay. Let me know when you're there, by the way. Probably should skip too far ahead. Oops, wrong one. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so we can start doing with on C. So if you go down all the way, you'll see that there's like a recording thing, and there's a play thing. I think hit the play thing, because recording will allow you to play back, but play will allow you to track your pitch in real time. So if you just sing something like interesting, it's picking it up periodically. It seems to be lagging a little bit. Tell you what, stop sharing your screen, and maybe that'll ease up some of your bandwidth and or stuff, and then tell me if that tracks better. Is it working better?
Better.
Okay. So
It's better.
I'm going to turn off my camera, and I'm going to stop streaming as well. All right. So that'll help a little bit. And if you're like lurking on stream, you can shut that tab down and free up as many resources as you can. Okay.
I don't have the stream up.
Dope. All right. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna match do, yeah, do, re. Oh, that's a do. I'm on do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Right. So that's eventually. Eventually, we want to get.
Was
that?
I was trying to do C major ascending and descending.
Yeah,
between lessons.
Oh, okay.
With that.
Then yeah.
The channel you recommended.
Awesome sauce. So then let me hear the scale in. Yeah.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Okay. So then this becomes a technique issue, right? Because intonation is both a musicianship issue and a technique issue. So, so now we go back to some of the work that we were doing in the lesson, which is soft palate and some tension stuff, right? So, it's nice you have a scale in your ear, though. That's dope. So, yeah, if you want to do the scale on the tongue fart, let's see where we're at there. Okay. So, tongue fart, excellent flatulence. Commendable, right?
You can hear it finally.
Oh, yeah. It's very exciting. You know, there's levels to a good fart. That was pretty high level. So we're going to go with v, because then if it's not the tongue, it's the vowel. So let's just focus on v. Let's just focus on do, re, and get a nice buzz. V. So chest tension. Let's do this. Let's do this a little bit. Ah, just that. So, not even that. Ah. Just make a sound. Nice. So, if you want to put your hand, I really do need to lower this camera a little bit more. Sorry, give me a second. All right, shouldn't have to stand up when I'm serratus. So put your hand here. That's going to be your serratus, and then right here.
We should share your camera.
That's probably a good idea, isn't it? Yeah. All right. So your serratus and the clavicle right above. Okay. Okay. How are those expanding when you've been inhale and exhale?
Very noticeable expansion.
Okay. But if you want to take your back of your hand, lower back. How's that expanding?
Trying really hard to notice anything.
If it's not moving, it's okay. We can address that. Okay. So if it's just not moving, then what we can do is we can do this chair thing, right? This stretch, because it's really great for that. Especially if your serratus is moving, that's nice. So we get into the chair stretch, and we do do re do with the V. So I still hear a bit of the chest tension, but that could be because of some other stuff. Like you could be tensing up because the vowel isn't ideal. So let's do, instead of V, let's do ah, and get the soft palate nice and lifted. When you exhale, do me a favor, when you exhale, you could be gentle. Ah. Beautiful. Nice. Now, what's happening a little bit is as you are exhaling, that soft palate is coming down. So while we're gentle, ah, we want to stay mentally like above the pitch, almost like we're sitting like on top of it. If that doesn't make sense, I can give you some other cues, but try that idea.
Like slightly sharp of the pitch.
Like you're not sitting on it. You're floating on it. It's a weird visualization. If it doesn't work, we can try what's physically happening, but I want to see if the visualization can help simplify the idea. And if it doesn't work, I'll explain.
Let me try.
Yeah, just give it a shot. If it doesn't work, I'll explain it. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, by the way, visualizations don't work for me either. So I like to try them because they sometimes it's just like a nice shorthand for people. But they don't work for me. So I wanted to give it a shot. I'm going to show you Bob. May Bob rest in peace. He has been quite thoroughly decapitated as of late. You know, that's what happens when you lose your head. So what that does, the idea is that you basically, when we exhale, it makes sense that these muscles kind of contract a little bit, right? That's in every other facet of life, that is a positive. For singing, it is not ideal. So when we're trying to prevent breath, because if you put too much breath in, your palate palate will go down, your false folds will come in. But also, as these muscles contract, they'll contract on all these, which will pull down the soft palate. Or they'll pull on all these muscles, and that'll pull down the soft palate. So while that's not a problem for the pitch you're on, it will become a problem later, and particularly on like vowels like T, when you're on an E vowel, if the soft palate is down, E is going to be really hard. It's going to be a hard vowel for you. So while we're in the low, like you start great, right? But as you exhale, understandably, the posture kind of goes a little bit. So what we can do is while you're in that stretch, you can have one hand on the rib cage, right around here, okay? And you don't need to keep it super expanded. Just prevent it from like really going super down, right? You don't need to keep it all the way inflated. Just prevent it from really sinking in. Try that.
Should I make a sound?
Yeah. So the and see if by the tail end of that, you can keep the rib cage from collapsing. Okay. So what's
Still
happening?
to collapse,
Yeah, it's going to a little bit, right? It's like it's two things. One,
especially towards the end.
yeah. So that's going to happen for two reasons. One, you still got a lot of torso tension, and then two, the intercostals are probably not very strong, because this is a weird thing to do, right? There's not a lot of people do this, right? No one goes to the gym and goes,
Classical singer things.
what's that?
Only classical singer things.
Well, this is using a couple different styles, but yeah, it's definitely, no one goes to the gym and goes like, bruh, my intercostals, bruh, they're so swole, bruh, right? Like that's not a thing, right? no one's bragging about, like there's the Obama arms.
It's a weird flex.
Yeah, exactly. It is, and in fact, actually, literally a weird flex. Anyway, so what's happening now? Well, like people brag about Obama arms, right? No one's bragging about their intercostals. That's what I'm saying, right? So what makes it hard for you to do that is that your lower back is still a little tight, okay? So when you do this stretch,
Should I still be in the stretch?
yeah, it's going to take some time in that stretch to let gravity do its job. Now, really important is when you're in that stretch, make sure that your legs are not tight, that you're really letting your body go, and that your posture is the thing holding you up. So what I do is I bring my my butt to kind of like closer to the edge of the seat, but not so much. Like I have a rolling chair, so I got to be careful, right?
I have a
So
rolling chair on carpet.
was that
I have a rolling chair on carpet.
okay? Yeah, so you can be a little bit, yeah. But as long as your legs aren't working, you're good, right? It's just enough to keep you lifted, and then yeah, and then try imagining breathing into your lower back. So this is one of the reasons why people expanding their rib cage is like taught much later, is because it's supposed to be like a for experienced singers, but really what it is if you have torso tension, you end up using tension to make room for your rib cage to expand, right? So people don't address torso tension, so then they teach this premise a little late, in my opinion. So as you breathe into your lower back, yeah, make sure your knees are soft. And you can start doing that ah on the exhale. Yeah, nice. Lats are still a little tight. Maybe the serratus as well, but that's better. So better enough, as in fact, that we're going to go I, because I want your eval to be really easy. Yeah, so see if you can go between them really fast. Because the movement between the and the e is actually very, very small. So if you can do it fast, it shows that like you're pretty close to where you need to be. Yeah, see if you can do it even a little faster. Nice. So as you're doing it that fast, see how you can minimize the movement between the two, and that way it'll be easier to be faster. Okay, so here's a little trick too. Make sure your jaw is not moving, because it shouldn't have to. It should all be the tongue, just the heel of the tongue. Okay, now what's happening is that soft palate is drooped a little bit, so the eval is just hard. So make sure that is really bright, okay? Nice. All right. Okay, good. All right, from here, do but the vowel I want when that you envision inside of your mouth is going to be ah, okay?
Can you still hear me?
Yep, I can still hear you. Okay, now this is where I want you to place your hand on your chest and your sternum. Make sure that those aren't contracting, okay?
Could I take some time to rest?
Sure. Yeah. Give me one moment. I'm gonna get some muscle. Get some water. Okay. Ugh.
I was feeling a rushing feeling in my legs.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. So.
Going into the technique.
Yeah. The technique, not shrimping. The
Totally, I'm not sure.
It's not shrimping. So the thing I want you to be cognizant of is, so like let's recap, okay? Torso tension, lower back, straight as lats, okay? So that stretch that we're doing is great for that. Problem ends up happening is that as you exhale, especially as you go up, your chest is getting a little tight, as well as right around the solar plexus, okay? So it's a lot of awareness of the torso tension, which is like the main thing that's holding you back. Because the vowel is not so bad, but what's holding it back is the fact that you end up with this tension and then things drag down, right? You can find the buzz and all that. The V is an SVOT exercise. So what that means is that if the vowel or the breath is not ideal, it's going to feel physically difficult to do. So when you practice, you're going to want to work on the torso tension, so stretching and all that stuff. And this is going to be true of your scales as well, right? Because intonation issues, again, both a musicianship issue and a technique issue. I don't think, given your work on scales, I think you have the intonation pretty much in your head. So the musicianship stuff on a scale, not necessarily a big problem for you. But that the voice crack that's happening on the E vowel is because of the vowel. It's because of your soft vowel. So it kind of all leads back to some torso tension for you. So these stretches are going to be a big deal. If the blood flow into your legs is kind of a problem, taking breaks is fine. When I do that stretch, I don't do it for more than maybe 5 minutes at a time because I like to get up, walk around, and all that. So, and walking around is good anyway. It'll help loosen you up. Did we do the elephant stretch?
We have.
Okay. I do think the chair stretch is going to be better for you specifically, but the elephant stretch I've found is great for getting people like a little out of their head. Yeah. So let's see if we can release some of that tension by maybe putting you a little mentally at ease. I don't know. Worth trying. Yesterday I just demonstrated it for a student, and I was like, oh, that's what I needed. Surprise, right? So let's see if it helps. So now again, it only gets you out of your brain noggin if you really get the momentum going. So do it slow first to make sure you're all good and doing what you need to do. And then once it feels cozy, then you can really give it momentum.
Should I also share my camera to see?
If you're comfortable, yeah. Then I can help you with the stretch, because what I'm finding is with the elephant stretch, a lot of people are doing it in a way. It's kind of very specific, and folks are having a hard time with that. And Discord doing Discord things. Oh my god! There we go. Discord doing Discord things. Yeah. Let's try that again. Okay. So bring your knees forward a little bit. So yeah, let's get this right. This is one thing that. So if you look at me real quick. So if you hang too low, you don't get the serrated stretch. So a lot of people are doing this, but if you move your knees forward a little bit and make sure that you're not, too tight on your knees, you get a little bit higher up here, right? And that's ideal. So yeah, bring your knees forward a little bit. That'll bring your hips forward, and that'll bring you back up a little bit. And find the balance there. All right. Then it's definitely hips to the side. So we're going to break it down. So here, right? Look at here. Look at me for real quick. Okay. So it's important that we're not down here, and then we're more up here. Okay. And that's just like knees forward, hips forward a little bit, and make sure that it's nice and easy. That the knees are a little soft. Okay. So that's the first thing. And then keep watching me real quick. Then the next part of this is hips to the side, right? So just hang out. And again, a lot of this is about balance so that you don't have to lock your knees. So just get this motion down. And this is a great stretch for the traps. Yeah, so let your arms dangle. It should just be the hips moving left to right. Okay, good. Now, when your hip is to one side, you go back with the hip. So let your arm kind of go here. It should just cross your chest. Because I'm moving my hip back like that. Yeah, there you go. All right. It's all right. I just brain knows. Why not? So hip forward, not back. Sorry. Whip, hip forward. And then the arm should cross. It's just dangling.
I'm feeling this in my posterior chain as well.
Yeah, it'll do that. So hip forward to bring it kind of like this. Even if it's lackadaisical, just cross the chest. There you go. So let the arm go while the hip is forward. Let it all go from the shoulder down. So right now you're like this. Let the hand drop. There you go. Okay. Now hip back. And that'll do it. So it's swing. Yeah, you're still controlling your arm. You need to let it go. So this is all supposed to be from the hip, right? So you get it, here, watch me for a second again. All right. So this is just hip to the side, hip forward. And what this is going to do is it's going to really get this extended, which is why if you're too low, it doesn't work out. So make sure again that, look at where I'm at, right? So you're here. So bring your hips and knees forward. Okay? So let's just get that right. There you go. So yeah, hips forward. And that will elevate your torso. More forward. More forward. Even more. Even more. Even more. Even more. A little bit more.
I'm trying.
Yeah. Soften your knees and let your knees come forward with your hips. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Now hip to the side. Don't worry about your arms. Hip to the side. Okay, good. Now bring the hip forward. Great. Now bring it back. The hip back. Your arm will just do whatever it does. Swing your hip back. Okay.
Feel the knees lock up whenever I try to move my hips back.
Okay. So if your knees are locking up, it's a matter of balance. So do the motion very quickly without thinking too much about it. Try to approximate what we went over. And then that can help you find your balance. Yeah, so don't pause too much. Kind of go through it. Even if it's not the precise steps. Yeah, don't worry too much about doing it right. Just move a lot. However you do it. It's okay. So the difference between doing the stretch like perfectly versus just like moving a bunch is that the moving a bunch, almost no matter what you do, is going to get you out of your head, which is what you need, I think. The specifics of the movement are how we can isolate like certain muscles for a stretch. We're not worried about the latter. We're worried about the prior, which is just getting you out of your head. So even if you like jump up and down and do like crazy shit with your body, right? Just a lot of movement. That'll help you get out of your head.
I'm gonna take a rest.
Sure, absolutely. We can even do arm circles. That'll work too. Yeah. So the
Should I stop showing my camera?
up to you. I usually go by sound anyway. It's just like when doing that stretch, it's helpful to look, but it's up to your comfort, and I'm fine either way.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the camera.
Yeah. So yeah, the getting out of your head thing is tough. I used to go on like 20 to 30-minute walks, which I should start doing again. Particularly in the morning. It's good. And in doing that, just even, you can do these long motion or these short bursts of intense motion, and it will get you out of your head. So like sprints, whatever, right? I like the elephant stretch because it doubles as a stretch. But even if it's just arm circles, you're good, right? So we're jumping up and down. That'll work. But even trying a little bit for the length of time that you did could be the equivalent is kind of like a bit of a walk, right? The idea is that if thinking tightens you, which it does, everybody cannot think without a little bit of tension. So if you move a bunch, it helps. It's not a cure, but it helps. So with that, even though you're resting, just
That worked up a sweat.
which is good for our purposes. The inhale and exhale exercise should be easy enough. Just like that. Now that does sound better. Do you feel how much more resonant that is? It's okay.
I had to move my neck a little bit.
Okay.
To adjust.
Yeah. But do you have a sense of how much more resonant that is? It's okay if you don't.
I wasn't paying that much attention to that.
Okay. Try it on V. Let's bring up the spectrogram. Okay. That's better, but it's still too much air. Let's bring up the spectrogram. And if you want to share your screen there. Okay. All right. So, all right. Let's real quick bring the settings down. On the right, there's the settings. Let's see. Is it line opacity to bring that thing down? think it's line opacity. We want to bring line opacity down. Ah. Ah. Okay. So what we can see here in the upper end, what we want when we do this, we want more overtones. Sorry, Katie, how do we reduce the sensitivity of it? Because right now the lines are omega bright, and I would like to know how that's done. Amplitude range, probably, right? Let's do minus 120 on mine. Minus 50. Or is it higher? I think it would be higher. Let me try that. Let me try extremes. I don't know. Increase bins. Okay. It's more the intensity of like it's the sensitivity of it is too high right now. You could add noise suppression to that. That's fine. Yeah. So let's see if you can do it more gently. Let's see if the red goes away a little bit. Okay. Now, can we get rid of the red at so the red being gone at around 3K is a good sign. Okay. But the overtones going away on the very top at the end of that vowel is kind of what we were working on, right? With the torso collapse stuff. So we can get more overtones by doing instead of right? There we go. All right. So now let's go ow, and try to keep the overtones. So if your at 2.7 to 4K has any red in it, or even below a little bit, 2.7K, too much air. So more gentle exhale. Okay, and on that if we can get more of those overtones, because right now, like you don't want to get rid of the red by changing the vowel. You still want but you just want a gentle . That's good. That's pretty darn good. So now we can go do and try to keep those overtones.
Do.
start with hold on, start with and again, your biggest problem right now is the exhale is too much. Do that.
I do.
Okay, not bad, but let's go. Do. So you find a resonant O vowel before you do do. Best one yet, like by far. That's great. So much so we're gonna go to re. Do, re, I, re.
Hooray.
What I like there is that when you started the re, and this makes sense, your soft palate went down a little bit, but you seem to be getting it well enough that you actually corrected that. You can see the dip. There's like a little dip of overtones. Yeah. Well, that's yeah. So, that's how you like corrected it on the fly. That's a very good sign. So let's try that again.
Hooray.
So see how some of the overtones died a little bit? It's a little too red, right around 2.7K. Just a little too much. So a bit more gentle on the exhale. But progress. It's better.
Hooray.
Nice. Okay. So now let's do mi. Do, re, mi, I. And this eval is going to be tough a little bit. It'll be easier than it was. Hold on. Two things. Exhale. There's too much. The other thing is that when you went to the E, I heard the jaw tighten. Jaw shouldn't have to move. So you can massage your jaw here. That way you can tactilely feel if it clenches. Right here is that muscle. A little in front of the ear and down. So we're at A, and the heel of the tongue has to go a little bit higher to hit E. You can move your jaw back and forth to help loosen it. All right. Good fixing the jaw tension on the fly. Okay. Eval is going to be like the hardest thing for you. So the exercise is literally to get you to lift your soft palate. Okay. But lifting your soft palate is going to be hard because of you got some stiffness in your back. Okay. So this is going to take some time, right? And some practice. But given that you like worked on your scales, I'm not worried about you practicing, right? Given that you've fixed your sound issues, I'm not worried about you doing work. I'm pretty happy with the fact that like you came prepared, which is dope. So thank you for that. So let's recap. Okay.
Should I close Chrome?
Yeah. We're gonna finish up so I have some time to do some stuff. All right. So the recap is this. You got some torso tension. What do we do to alleviate the torso tension?
Do the chair dip stretch or the elephant stretch?
So the chair dip is great. For you, I recommend like going for walks instead of doing the elephant stretch. Because the coordination for the elephant stretch, I'm realizing as I try to walk people through it, it's a little involved to be able to get the benefits from it. And this is not just you. I'm noticing it as I get people's like cameras. I'm looking at like it's like people are kind of doing it, but they're not getting the full benefits of it. And like going for a walk will help you with your lower back. So, and one of the things you can do when you walk, when I do it, is I like just move my hips a little bit. Like I don't think about runway modeling when I do that because that would be an odd thing. So
I'm not judging.
What's there to judge? Because I don't. So anyway, that's gonna get clipped. This is terrible. So, but that no lie though, that hip motion does help move the lower back a little bit, and it's good. And it'll get you out of your head. It's gentle, right? And it's just a good thing to do. I really need to start doing it again. I was, it's good for the mood, especially sunlight early in the morning. It's a little difficult where I'm at. It's very hot. But it's a good thing to do.
It's also very hot where I'm at.
Yeah, so you can walk inside and then like open the windows or something, or not like open the curtains in the windows. It's not as ideal, but like 30 minutes of walking will do you wonders. You can do it while listening to music. You can do it while doing
listening to lessons.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever gets you to do it, because like it's not exactly interesting to do, right? So yeah. So walks, chair stretch. V is going to be tough. What I'm realizing is that so my approach is very like kinesthetic. It's very physical. But like there are a lot of folks who don't like I grew up doing like a ton of sports. I was a fitness instructor. Building that relationship takes time. And a lot of people who do who watch my stuff, understandably, are at a computer a lot. So they have, I think, a much better relationship with their vision because you're looking at stuff all day and you're processing information that way. So using the spectrogram and understanding what you're looking for is going to be a really good tool to start developing the kinesthetic awareness. Because you went from like, I was like, here's this visualization. You're like, I don't get it. And I was like, okay, here's your hand on your chest or your rib cage. And you're like, eh. But the second we started with the spectrogram, you started doing the most important thing, which is self-correcting on the fly. That's a good sign because we all need to do that.
They're really looking at the spectrogram when doing the adjustments.
Yeah. So the you're going to want to get familiar with what that is and what that looks like, but also like not having a ton of red above like 2.7, because that indicates that you're pushing, using too much breath, right? So, and then working on your vowels. So the the E, once you work with your tension a little bit, that's going to get so much easier. It's hard now, but as you do the walks, as you do the stretches, that's going to get a lot easier. Okay. and then you were fixing your jaw tension as you were doing it. So that the spectrogram for you is like big, right? So let's lean into that. All right, good stuff. I'm gonna let you go. Okay.
Okay.
All for you.
Bye.
Boy. All right. That was good. I've been more attentive to this ever since I started. And this is again why those who let me close my door so it sounds better. Those who do should teach, and those who teach should do. One of the reasons I have a lot of respect for Riku is, he's a teacher. And the rationale is simple in that you get insights. I've had to start taking some meds because EMDR is tough, and that these meds are like numbing a little bit. So I haven't been able to be as like kinesthetically aware, which sucks. So it's been challenging. Feels like I'm going backwards in some regards, but I can't argue that I'm a lot more consistent and leveled out for now. So what I've been doing is I've been trying to think of different ways to gain insight other than just being aware of the feels, whether that be physical or whatever, right? And that's been really helpful, is to find science of things. So I was thinking about, especially as I was watching this person do the elephant stretch, I thought to myself, okay, giving the physical instructions, it's not working. So instead of trying to force it to work, why don't I just take a different tack, different approach, right? All right. And that worked. We got a lot of neurospicy in the community. So getting people out of their head to address tension is a big thing that I'm going to need to learn to do for both people, for both students and myself. Yeah, Matt, but it's also it's the kinesthetic awareness stuff, right? Like letting the arm go, and like when I ask people to get to the movement and then have a lot of momentum, it's going to take some comfort with that movement, and so if the movement isn't like right on, because it really only works if you can do it all with your hips, but that takes a little bit of coordination. So like the elephant stretch is cool and all, but it requires to get the benefits of it, it requires the motion to be done correctly. And a lot of people aren't, and that's okay. Because like I should be teaching people how to sing, not teaching people how to do the stretch, right? So like, what does that stretch accomplish? It's really a serratus thing, because the other serratus stretch is this. But the problem with that one is that you have to contract your traps to do that. Whereas the elephant stretch gets both the traps and the serratus, but it won't get the traps if you're too far forward in the bend. It won't get it. So, and the only reason why the elephant stretch can get to the serratus without the traps being flexed is because the arm ends up like flopping into position. So I can think of another way to kind of do that. And I think that would be a good idea. But a lot of folks, I'm finding, it's a mental thing. That the achieving a mental calm does a lot for physical tension anyway. So it's kind of a cart horse thing. Stretching can help you feel mentally calm, but if that in and of itself doesn't do it, then how do we do that? It's a tough one. So yeah. Yo. Hello. Give me 1 second. Change a bunch of settings. But I can hear you just fine in the meantime. How are you today?
Not my best, but I did want to mention something. Like basically the day after our last lesson, I finally had a visit with the doctor. I don't know if you remember my left shoulder. I was like, oh, I can't. It's not as flexible as yours is.
Mhm.
Turns out I've had frozen shoulder for like a year.
Ah. Okay.
So I've been doing some physical therapy for the last 2 weeks, and it hurts.
Yeah, frozen shoulder is tough. Yeah. So, I wanted to kind of go back to one of the things we were doing in the last lesson, which was, and one of the things I'm trying to get better at helping people with is eliminating the tension that stems from like the mind, right? Because I feel like we've done a lot of the physical work, and you are a diligent student. And then when we did sort of like take this mental approach of like doing character work and doing some other stuff, that helped a lot. Because when it comes to like the stuff like lifting the soft palate, when it comes to the different tension, you have the awareness and you practice. So let's try to spend today on doing some stuff that'll help calm the mind. It's not always easy, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So let's hear a little bit and we'll see where we're at.
Okay. You say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry in your tea, which you hurl in the sea when you see me go by. Oh, I so sad. Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad.
All right.
Remember despite that. Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to think of a thing that's going to work and is only moderately ridiculous. Bad news. It is not moderately ridiculous, but I do think it'll work. It is full-blown ridiculous. Okay.
Yep.
So let me explain you like what the issue is. The breath and the transition between the vowels need to be smoothed out, but it's like subtle physical things. So to do that, we're gonna get you out of your head a little bit, but I want the motion to reflect the music because you actually do decent character work. But the musical phrasing is going to help with the breath, and then it's kind of like a, cart horse bit like which one, like is it, if we work on breath, is the musical phrasing going to be better? If we work on the musical phrasing, is the breath going to be better? So what I want to do is this. Like, you know, the cheesy like commercials where everyone's like, you know, like the old like 70s fucking Coca-Cola. You say, but right? Like with the happy hands, right?
Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
These larger motions tied to the phrasing. Da, 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 right? That's what I think will help you get out of your head a little bit, because it's large motions. But you gotta commit. But you got theater energy, so I think you're gonna commit just fine, right? Yeah. I don't worry about the theater kids when it comes to commitment. So that and try to imagine it with the how you want to phrase, right? I swear I put on deodorant, by the way. I don't know why this just happened. Gross. Anyway. We're here now.
I'm practicing.
Yep. I figured. Yeah. I'd rather you have that tied to the music part of the exercise. You know what I mean?
Okay. Let me try the first stanza with this movement. You say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry in the tea which you hurl in the sea as you see me go by. Oh, I so sad. Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad. Remember, despite our estrangement, I'm your man.
Yeah. You feel the difference there?
Yes.
Yeah. That's all breath. All of it. Yeah. So this is the thing that I've been having a hard time teaching, because like when I say like, oh, musical phrasing, right? What the shit does that mean? Right? But one of the things that we get the luxury of doing as singers is like shit like this. Right? So here's the other thing. Okay. I'll point out the specifics, but I think the solution is actually a lot more like simple. When you go down, you're doing the thing where you're like you're bringing the tongue back a little bit, and you're trying to get you're like slamming the low notes a little. And then some of the other vowels are not as easy as they could. In that, from pitch to pitch, what we ideally want is minimal changes, because that gives us that smoothness. And in this song, it's very smooth. The phrasing is kind of like it's just a song that lends itself to elegance. The problem with that, so it's people like my Fly Me to the Moon, because of the things that I do well, I am particularly good at vowels. It is one of the reasons I am so damn loud. Right? Oh, it's often used many words to say a simple thing. Right? I can go between those vowels and make diphthongs and all that stuff. It sounds very natural. So that's what we need to get you doing. So how do we do that? But now this is a little bit of this, okay? that thing we were doing, I want you to think of the vowels in the same way as the music, like the music and the breath being smooth, the transitions to the vowels also smooth. See if you can mentally attach both to this physical movement, this large movement. We're going to experiment. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's try.
I'm trying to see where there's a vowel transition, so I can.
Sure, that's a good idea. And one of the things also that Oxford, I watched Oxford do this, and I was like, oh, that's a really good idea. He slowed down the tune.
Mm-hmm.
And as he slowed it down, he got to play with the transitions more and made a lot of progress. Because it's not like your vowels are shit. Like you got some chops, right? So like you know what you're doing. It's more like it's like the same thing with me and getting to the B flat. It's like I know how to hit a B flat, but it's a matter of how much time do I have? Because there's not a lot. So if I slow it down, I can get faster. So I just bring it out of the context of the piece and then increase the rate at which I address my backbench. It's frustrating how much of it is mental. Not gonna lie.
Okay. All right. I'll try the second little bit here. You'll be back soon, you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love.
Yeah. That's a lot better. So, next up, there's a quality that's coming in on some of the vowels that I think has to do with like tension in the traps and like having to adjust by either like the tiniest bit of jaw tension or like bringing the tongue forward willfully, and it's creating like a twang that's creating this difference between some of your vowels that are not like that and then some of the vowels that are. Instead of trying to guess, I'm going to have you load up the spectrogram. Okay? You feel comfortable sharing that screen of the spectrogram?
Yes.
I like the way you said that. Yes.
Sorry, I was trying to remember where I put
You're good. You're good. I just imagine you twirling the most. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess I'm just gonna go find the link again.
Villainous behavior.
Okay. Do you see it?
Check. I do. All right. Let's see a little bit of the singing, and I'll point it out when I see it. Or rather.
You'll be back. Soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back. Time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other
right.
through it all.
Perfect. All right. You see on the eval, if you want to pause it, that pause button real quick. Dope. So right at 10.8 seconds, your first, second, and your third, fourth, and fifth overtones are kind of missing a little bit, but you have a lot of frequencies right around 2.5 to 3K hertz. Okay, that is the frequency that we associate with nasality, but it is not that you are nasal, because you're not. It is that there's a bit of tension, and so the other frequencies that would balance out the sound are not there. Look at the next vowel to see that exact phenomena happen, right? You have basically the same brightness and frequencies, if not more, in that area of like 2.5 to 3K hertz. But it is the fact that the overtones underneath it are present that create the balance of sound. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I see. I mean, I see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is great with the spectrogram. So, to fix this, what we'll do is we will enter La Technique, which is not trim. And we're going to work on your E. Okay? And we're going to have it while the spectrogram is up. Okay?
Okay.
Some people, it's like, for me, it was really hard to comfortably do it while seated. Let me know if that's the case for you, and we'll just do something else.
Oh, no, I'm sitting now. What are we doing?
You're going to put your feet on the chair.
Okay.
All right. And one of the things that I've learned is that to make this work, you got to put your bum pretty close to your heel so that you have plenty of room to kind of just chill out. Right? And that way you're not like doing that to fit in the chair. Okay? And while you're doing this, with the spectrogram on, and go from like your different vowels. You knew meow, meow, yeah. Massage your jaw while you did this, okay? Meow, meow. You can let your neck go a little forward, like your head a little bit. Yeah. So that was better. We still want a little bit more frequencies in that E. And notice how your ooh, you lose a lot of overtones. So vowel uniformity is the concept. Me. Meow, meow, meow. I'll share my spectrogram. Let me do this. Oh. Yeah, yeah. Alright. And then get the react thing so we can see it. right? Now, to an extent, yeah, E is going to be more present here. You can see I still have a lot of those overtones. Now, I also have a lot of compression going on. A little bit of an unfair advantage, just to be clear. So it won't look like this, right? Because my audio interface that I have to use right now has a compressor on it, no matter what I do. So that will create like an evenness that is not totally representative of what's going on, right? But give that a shot. All right. With your head down like this. So the reason why we're in La Technique is if you grab your knees, you can try to breathe into your serratus and traps and lower back. How's breathing into those?
I hope I'm doing it right.
Are they moving?
It's hard to tell.
You can, if you need to, you can put a hand on it. When your traps move, it should move like lengthwise. Another thing to pay attention to is your shoulder blades should kind of like move a little bit apart.
Mm-hmm.
And now, the A to the E, very gently. So that vowel needs to be ah. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the soft palate lift. Nice. That is a lot more uniform. So let's go to ow, ow.
No, I feel it. I feel what's wrong.
Yeah. Tongue went back a little bit there, but I suspect that that's because like there's a lot more resonance going on. So it could be that you're using jaw tension to bring the tongue forward. So it could be that like because your back is tight, tongue is going down. Okay. But there were things that came in there that have been absent in tone quality, like the lower resonance that we want to balance things out. So do that again and note and just pay attention. Don't judge it. Just pay attention to it.
Whew.
So do that, doing it quick like that should I. Make sure your jaw shouldn't move between the I to the E. It doesn't have to. It's just the tongue. Yeah. Look at the spectrogram.
Yes, it's filling in a lot more.
Yeah. You're still at a bit more of an but it's closer to what it needs to be. All right? And you're getting closer to an because your is not ah.
Oof.
I feel that.
All right, I had to put my feet down.
Yeah, try it with your feet.
So it's
Ooh.
ah,
Yeah.
to
I.
ah,
When you do
I.
when you do make sure your neck's not going backwards. I. There you go. So now, and the soft palate is still down a little bit, and that's okay, right? There's reasons why that can be the case. You know, again, tight back probably. Your shoulder being frozen could easily impact that as well, right? But
I'm having to find a really comfortable position and.
all right.
No,
So
not quite as good.
what's that?
So was that not quite as good?
It just wasn't as bright, but it's more relaxed. So
I'm very relaxed.
The thing is like if you have something like a frozen shoulder and you have like a lot of back tension, and it's going to take time to release that stuff because you're in physical therapy for it, then the worst thing you can do is try to like you'll have to make adjustments to get certain things. So that does accomplish value uniformity, what you just did. Right. But what you might find is that as you try to ascend, the soft palate is not lifting enough for you to ascend easily. Right. And so you might do tension in other areas to get the soft palate up. Right. So that's why the A vowel is like Ethel Merman bright obnoxious. Ah.
That actually helped a lot.
Yeah. Easier to go up, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's that Ethel Merman shit in the low, no bueno. In terms of like it is an effective vowel. It's ergonomic. But boy howdy does it sound like, I don't know, Ethel fucking Merman, right? But for the sake of the exercise, I that's useful. Give that a shot.
Oh, nope.
Give me an Ethel. Yeah, there we go. You see the difference right there? Your first vowel that's passing by. Look at that versus the ah. See how many more overtones there are?
Yes.
Yeah. So that right there, if it's not stacked like that, that's why ah is fucking obnoxious. It is just a bunch of fucking overtones. Right? So if you're absent right at like 4.5K, you know it's not an ah. You know it's not ethyl murminative, right?
Mm-hmm.
So get that down first. So go ahead and resume. And ah. Let's try to find that.
Ah. Ah. Whew, ran out of breath.
Yeah. So right now, you're trying to take a smaller inhale to be gentle. That is one way to do it. But try taking a bigger inhale and just exhaling with a bit more gentleness.
Ah.
Yeah. So look at 4.5K and also what was above, just above 5.2K. So we're missing the above 5.2K a little.
Ah.
Nice. Now go just There we go. That is way closer to the E vowel that we want. Before it was I, now it's E. E demands a very lifted soft palate to work. That is usually why tenors train on E. The problem is that no one tells them exactly, like, I trained on E a lot, but like no one fixed my problem because I had a hard time lifting my soft palate because my back was so tight. Right? I'm easy mode. Right? So that's what we're going to need to do for you is get the soft palate lifted in that way so that we have those like walls of overtones. Because notice the difference between the E vowels that you were showing when you were singing the tune versus the E vowels now, right? They don't have that hole in the first couple of resonants, in the first couple of overtones, right? So now we do this with the vowels that are on the tune. Okay, we want that vowel uniform. We don't want like gaping holes in the lines in the frequency. So just the vowels of the tune and slow it down. And it, by the way, you don't have to do it on pitch. Just do it like monotone.
Oh. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, see right away? Yeah. So start with ah. See how like already on we have like dark zones in the overtones here, right?
Yeah.
So we want to fix that. So ow.
Oh, if I'm looking, I can. If I'm looking, I can correct it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You found a way to cheat the exercise. You can just sing louder. If you just sing louder.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So be gentle. That's why you got to be gentle.
Okay.
Yeah. So the E, your soft palate super down, and it's because your ooh, the soft palate super down. So your ooh and your E vowel, your closed vowel, are falling victim to a lowered soft palate. Hold on. Look at 3.2K and the absence in the other. That's nasality. Right? So you went with instead of right? Yeah. Your jaw is tightening.
It's what I'm. Yeah.
Yep.
I have to hold it.
Just too loud. It was it wasn't
Jeez.
The inhale was too low. It's obnoxiously specific, I know, but they're like
Nope. Oh, that was better.
it was better. That is perfectly Ethel Merman. Yeah. You can see that the first, when you started, it was actually, there's more overtones, so that was a better vowel. Inhale was too small. That's not a bad sounding vowel. It ain't Ethel Merman, as you can see, but that was a pretty resonant vowel. You probably felt that.
Yeah, I mean, it felt good, but it's not quite the right.
It's not quite the right vowel, but this is again going back to like lifting your soft palate is hard, and for you right now because of some specific tension things, right? So when you relax, what's probably happening is because you're relaxed, your soft palate goes down a little bit. What I'd rather have happen is you just accept that while you work in physical therapy on your frozen shoulder, right? Because the soft palate's not going to lift very easily if shit's being pulled down. If you have a frozen shoulder, that, okay, shit's being pulled down, right? So we just acknowledge that and we go with what feels good. That's better. I'd rather that. And then we just accept that because the soft palate is going to be a little down, that we're not going to always get what's ideal, but I'd rather you not learn to sing with tension. Right?
Okay, let me try one more thing.
Sure. That is an insanely, look at that overtone series. Congratulations. Okay. That is as Ethel fucking Merman as it gets. That's what it should look like. Crazy, right? There's not a damn overtone missing, damn it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you want. So once you have that...
All right. Just have to be really relaxed.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So what we want to do there now is go between all those vowels with the same sensation of buzziness. Okay? You're gonna want to just do a, e, and a, oo. Oo and e, your closed vowels are what are killing, which is not an uncommon problem, by the way. It is very hard. Like singing shit on E will, like if your soft palate is down, it is like a death knell. Like it is the test. Like when I'm on top of it, I usually start my morning singing in my middle, like just singing lullabies, and on E. And I see holes in it right now. I'm modifying to an I. Yeah, I'm tight on my jaw. Because my traps are tight. So like, yeah, like it's a great way to problem solve.
Oh, it got better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's go. So it's I or I.
I. I. That's all.
Hmm?
See the lack of.
Oof, can't get there.
Yeah. She went from a bright to actually a lovely right? That actually was a good, nice sound. And you can tell because look at the third and fourth overtones. Those are generally the qualities that we want in a tenor. Is the third and fourth overtones are really nice, and that gives us like ooh. If you ever look at like people find Baji's singing to be really relaxing, and people really like Neumann microphones because there's a bump at 1K. There's something about that in a singer that people seem to enjoy for some reason, right? Sometime with your mic. Not sure what happened. Cannot hear you if you're talking. Um. There we go.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear it now.
Can the Spectre? Nope.
I want to just reload the browser.
There we go.
Yeah. So, aim for better, not perfect. Though I like that you have that standard. But for right now, because I want to give you more things to work on. Because, yeah. So like, I know you will do this on your own, to where you will really test yourself and
with
do
the
it.
spectrogram open.
Yeah. For right now, though, I want to give you more things to work on. So the the E,
Okay.
I want to guide you through that. Okay, so let's accept the fact that the is not going to be great. It's not going to be where it needs to be. So take notice of the improvement that happened on the second either. Right? It's the jaw still. So really dig your knuckles.
Trying to make an E without moving my mouth.
Yeah, it's just the tongue. Yeah. So right now you're going from right? Super like the soft palate's just not up. Yeah.
I don't know. Can't make an E.
Just start with the Look at your right. It's Ethel Merman. Bring me Ethel Merman. Yeah. And then it's that tension a little bit, right? In the chest and all that stuff.
Trying to figure out how to make an E without moving my jaw.
The tongue should be wider, and the heel will go up.
Oh.
Yeah, that's better.
Wow, I'm feeling my soft palate come down though.
Good noticing. Yeah, it's a wider tongue and a more lifted soft palate, because otherwise you get which, by the way, in the passaggio is actually kind of desirable sometimes, because otherwise you can sound really strident in that range, which is not bad for musical theater. Actually, on classical, it's not desirable. If I go, Chenica, right? That's not ideal. Chenica is a lot more desirable for classical aesthetics. So just a heads up on the consequences of that. Like there's trade-offs. Right? You can do vowel modifications and it's fine. And E to I in that range is not so bad. So I don't want you to think, oh, that's wrong. I just, for the exercise, we're trying to get your E vowel to be good. So, but like it's not, there's nothing wrong with vowel modifications or drooping the soft palate for a desired effect, like what I just did.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Nope. Okay.
That was actually quite good. Right?
I'm just messing around. Yeah, I'm just messing around with it.
Yeah.
It's like I think I found a way to make the E.
Yeah.
It's still missing about 5.2.
Well, so it's going to. You want to pay attention more to the third and the fourth and fifth overtone. It's going to miss, like it is a change in sound, and therefore it will be a change in frequencies. The A is going to have more frequencies, which you don't. Yeah. When you have dark zones like that, that's what you don't want. That's when you're cutting out certain frequencies to achieve the effect, and that usually has to do with like tension, right? Because like,
yep.
Yeah.
Nope. Hold on.
Nice. The fourth and fifth overtone being a little dark there, still a bit of jaw tension and a little bit in the neck. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But as long as you can notice that stuff, you'll be able to do it. We don't have a lot of time left. Let's go from A to oo. Yeah. So,
Whoa.
Yeah. Oo should not lose that many overtones. Yeah, tongue went back.
What's going on?
So you can see that the tongue went back because the fourth and fifth overtones went away. If I go to mine, I'll show you what mine looks like. So I can control my soft palate, right? So you can see me bring it in and out. Ideally, that's what you want.
No.
Not bad. We're still missing the ethyl murmur in the beginning. What might help you is going from ah to o to oo. This will be a little easier. All right, what is the sign of nasality?
I forget.
Below 3.2K, a dark zone, and then 3.2K has a bunch.
Okay.
So that was an aw. It wasn't an o. What's the sign of a tongue going back?
I don't know.
The fifth overtone. You see how that dark spot is there? The tongue went back.
Uh-huh.
So what happened, yeah, the reason why that wasn't nasal necessarily is not because it wasn't nasal, is actually because you just killed some of the other overtones by bringing your tongue back. Yeah. Find the ethyl murmur. That's your point of reference. Okay. Now can you do that with a larger inhale? Better.
Nope.
It's better. It's better. That's what we're aiming for.
Mm-hmm.
Now again, larger inhale. Ah. We want the volume to be consistent. A little bit more than that. Okay.
Okay, so I need to get louder as I'm changing
No,
to the other vowels.
it'll be louder by virtue of the resonance. But I want you to focus on not on volume, but on breath. Right. The result is that you will be louder. But a good vowel can handle more breath behind it. So it's easier to find success if you don't take a larger inhale and you don't manage your breath consistently. Right? So this is where you can cheat the exercise. Is by like, oh, if I just switch out how much breath I'm doing. But breath consistency is really important. You know? You can test your breath consistency with. Whereas if you did what you just did, it would sound like. Yeah.
Okay.
Better. You see how
Ah,
oo has more 5.2?
yes.
Yeah, it's good. We want O to have that as well. We're not gonna hold on.
Hmm?
Look at what's up with that ah. It's on ah.
Really, really drop.
Nice. That oo in particular was really good. O, a little bit of tension there, but yeah. Getting your vowels to be uniform is like going to be a big unlock for you.
Okay.
And the breath thing, this thing, is another thing I want you to practice. Okay? Do you have any questions?
Nope.
Dope. Okay. That is all, I think. Good job.
I will go practice.
Dope arenas. All right. You managed to crash Reaper? That's funny. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. Oh no. Oh, that sucks, Void. Yeah. That's unfortunate. All right. So, I've been liking this thing I've been doing recently with trying to do like, okay, I taught this, now I should do this. Like I have a lot of this tension stuff as well. And I haven't been practicing as much of my singing because I've been working on my audio chops in various capacities, which is very important. But I haven't been practicing singing. And I've made some steps backwards because I pushed myself to do triage without having contacts in. So I was like this, and I was getting real frustrated. And then that frustration mounted when I tried to mix the U-Child, and there was no triaging certain frequencies, particularly in Ru. Whereas Baji has more overtones, and the way that Baji gets to Ru's voice is like shutting down a lot of overtones. It's actually very similar to the Mr. Lesage, in that it works on a mic, but actually does not work terribly well in person. I'll show you. I'm Mr. Lesage, and I'm teaching right now. And this is my normal speaking voice, right? And I do have the retracted false folds, but as you can see, this voice is a lot more powerful because it has more overtones, you know? So I can get away with doing a lot more. But if I go to Mr. Lesage, oh boy, I'm missing quite a lot of overtones. So this principle applies in both singing and speech. So when Ru, when I was doing this with the triage for Ru, I can actually bring that up in RX. And show you kind of what happened with this mix and what made it difficult. Still fun to do, obviously, but you're going to see a pattern here. This is Ru. This is Baji. So the instrumental is bleeding through in Baji's stuff. So like right here, this overtone is not hers. Get a little bit in there so you can see more. This overtone is not hers. This overtone is not hers. The brighter ones are. This overtone is not hers. This one is not hers. This one is not hers, right? But it's of less consequence. Now when we get to Ru, now it's of tremendous consequence. This overtone is not hers. This overtone is not hers. There's an overtone that they share here. This overtone is not hers. This one. Listen to it now. I'll put this on. Oh, it is not good. You hear that? This is all not her. It sounds like an annoying sax.
Ooh, child.
Oops, I gotta bring the volume shit down. Sorry. Loud, my bad. Now you can hear it more accurately, probably.
Ooh, child, things are gone.
Yeah. So that's what I had to mix out. And it's impossible to not to do without killing it. So I could do this and then get like a spectral denoise and bring back this, right? And try to just get the overtones. The problem is with that is that the singer changes pitch. It is, so this is the problem with doing, if I rip the audio from stream, yes. So because Baji does stuff on stream and doesn't record, so I don't get access to her dry vocals, I have to rip stuff. The problem becomes when there are other singers. The stem splitters are done with machine learning. Their job is to separate vocals from instrumentals. Problem, some of the instrumentals have vocals in them, right? Like this one. So if we want to mix the Baji Day thing, we're kind of fucked a little bit, right? Because I'm not going to be able to isolate her vocals. So now this again does exist in Baji singing, but check it out. There's so many more overtones.
Someday when the world is much brighter. Ooh, child.
Right? So, like, you can see that there are overtones here. Boom, boom, boom. Overtones that are not hers. Right? But it ends up not mattering a bunch.
Lighter. Someday I will walk in the rays of a beautiful sun.
She sits on top of it because of her overtones. And then she does Ru, and then it becomes difficult. The way that one can account for this is you can get those parts of the instrumental a little bit, and then by keeping it in her voice, it can kind of work, but not ideal. So when I do it, I'll show you what's up here. A second. There is a section where you can hear it as much as I tried to get rid of it. You hear it, right? That's as much as I could contain it without destroying her voice. I'm amazed I got it to sound. I'm not mad about that mix. Saber will tear it down, and will. It is there, and it is strident, and it is unpleasant. It's one of those things where if you listen to the tune a lot, you'll then hear it, right? Because I tried to hide it as much as I could. I think I used saturation, which like will kind of diversify the frequencies that it's in. So, and I tried to do that specifically for Ru's voice. I used a lot of soothe, but like, I can't use too much. Yeah, you would have thought it was a weird instrument, right? That took me hours. So, yeah. So one of the reasons I'm spent is triaging is dope. The non-Ru version and remove. Is it possible to get the background non-Ru version and remove that from the Ru version? I don't think she has a non-Ru version. Yeah, I could swap out and comp. Yeah. I don't know how she'd feel about that because she tends to feel pretty strongly about doing things in one take. And as much as I have a weird, it's weird. With her, like, I just don't, like, I never compromise on her comfort. And it's weird. I don't know why. I'm like incredibly protective of Baji and her comfort, and I don't totally understand why. Yeah, I care about a lot of people, Katie. For some reason, it's like I get like this is one of the reasons why Pharaoh and I get along, right? Because like I'm not an attack dog like he is, but like yeah, that could be used to remove it. I do have the backing. I can find it, I think. How would we do that? Yeah. Oh, you could use the music thing. That was what you're referring to. Got it. Okay. Let's see. I'll ask Emlock. Um. It won't be perfect. That's fine. If I can reduce it a little bit, then that would be good. Like it's not perfect. It's not ideal, but like, yeah, like getting rid of a little bit would be dope. Because then I wouldn't need to do so much to her voice, and I can hide it a little bit. The main thing is that like and this is why like probably it's best to just have a conversation with her and figure out what she's willing to do, because she's like gotten like she's gotten over a lot of things that apparently people have said that she's been afraid of for like years, and in a very short period of time she's just like gotten over them. So I don't know. She might be totally fine just fucking recording, right? I just haven't had the chance to like talk to her about it. You know, so I might be, you know, this might be a non-issue, and I am doing that thing, but yeah, RX has that as well, Kim said. But and that's what I was thinking with like noise removal. Yeah, exactly, Alex. Like it's about her comfort. She is making some changes in her audio setup, but that doesn't solve this problem. She gave me the same response. She's like, oh, I'm making some changes. I'm like, not my point. But she's like, she's really quite busy right now. So I don't think she really read what I wrote. Which is okay. You know, that's the other thing is like, she prioritizes her family. And like, how can I possibly be upset by that? I'm not, you know. But I like working with her because I like singing with her. I just hate doing triage because I'd rather make music. Yeah, RX is specifically tooled for this sort of stuff. So, yeah. But like, I always feel guilty asking for her time. It is work related, so I don't feel as guilty. At the same time, you know, like, yeah. And the only real flaw with her is playing League. I find League. I know it's a joke, but I find League fun because I don't care. Right? I think it's when people start caring about League that's when it becomes a problem. If you care about League, that's the problem. Right? But anyway, the main thing with with Baji is like, I like working with her a lot. I probably need to find other people to work with to make music in this space. So I reached out to Enva. Maybe Enva, Astri, and I can do what we did. We can do a recording of what we did at Offkai. That'd be dope. The Via Teme arrangement was really cool. I can work with my community more, right? Like we can do that stuff. You know, I could do some more reacts if views are concerned, right? And I think I'm fine. I got burnt out on reacts. I think it's not that I hate them. It's I got burnt out on them. In the same way that I'm burnt out on triage, right? I tend to hold things in and then not let myself experience the resentment or disappointment or frustration. And I'm trying to work on that because what I don't want to have happen is I don't want to get frustrated working with Baji, right? Like she is like, it's not like I don't know these things that she doesn't like to record, that she'd rather just do it live and rather have it like I know these things. She's been consistent about it, right? These are boundaries so that she can be comfortable with a couple different situations, right? So it's on me knowing that exactly I knew what I was getting into. So I can ask, hey, would you make this change? And then, you know, I have to be ready for her to say no. Because, you know, because of X, Y, and Z. That's fine. So then I have to say, okay, what is actually frustrating me? And I think it's just like, I want to sing more. Mixing is dope. But if I it's fun, but it's not my thing. I want to mix to where it's good enough. And I think the U-Child mix is good enough, minus that fucking frequency. Just bothers the shit out of me because I know it's there and I can't unhear it. Right? So like, you know, it's about finding more people to work with and finding more collaborators. You know, and then like, yeah. A lot of people like to sing in the space. That shouldn't be that hard, right? You know, so, yeah. And Astri's got chops. She was fun to sing with at Offkai, right? Carl's fun to sing with. Void's freaky ass voice that doesn't make any sense because of physics is weird. You know, that's fun to sing with, right? Harvest, I'm sure would be fun to sing with. Like, there's a lot of talent in the community. So there is library bones. And it could be a simple, like that is the easiest fix. OBS has FFmpeg PMC 24-bit. So if she recorded video at PMC 24-bit and then put it to a different track and removed all effects, boom. And to make it even easier, she could export her profile and her scene collection as JSON, send it to me. I can make those adjustments, particularly the profile. I can make those adjustments in the JSON, do it all for her, right? And then she can import it. But that might not address certain things. And again, the conclusion here is there's a lot of workarounds and there's a lot of things I can do to make this easier on me, so I'm less resentful of not spending as much time singing. But she has every right to be like, I just don't want to do that. You know what I mean? And I have to be cool with that. Because like, more than I care about working with her, I care about, don't fucking tell her this, all right? It's fucking gay, all right? Gay? More than I care, don't, all right? More than I care about working with her, I care about her, which is gross and weird. Because feelings and toxic, don't fucking, you know. It's weird. So we're gonna move on, because now I'm uncomfortable. You know, I have to use the bathroom, all right? And I have to use the bathroom, not because I give a shit, okay? So you just take that back, okay? I don't appreciate the accusations. All right?
Mew, 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 buzzy, 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 lassage, lassage.
Wandering crusader music, Rosa Nagashi. Morning bagel, massage singing, Starlight Daryl too.
Starlight Daryl! How'd you get so freaking cool?
Starlight Daryl! Oh my God! Blight.
Wanderiku savor music, Rosa Nagashi. Morning bagel, massage singing, Starlight Daryl.
Tornai felici.
All right. Yeah, Void. God, I wonder if there's a way I can help you with this shit, because like this is a lot of work. Oh, I don't know what was playing. And I have no way of knowing, unfortunately. Yeah, for some reason, like I can't hear the playback. I think I need to update OBS because I don't know what's up. That makes unfortunate. Let me see if Italian. Is it tornai felici di è dolente il mio pensiero? Is that one? Yeah, okay. Yeah, tornai felici di. Yeah, it's on the channel. Tornai felici di. From Lavili. It's loud and obnoxious. My bad. It's funny that difference is there. My bad. Anyway, this is one thing that I this consistent pattern which is obnoxious. So with now again, we don't tell her this, okay? Because you know, I don't care. Let's be clear, all right? There's been a pattern that happens where I'll notice something like some dynamic, and I'll notice it with Baji first, and then I'm like, and then I'll see it everywhere, interpersonally, everywhere. That's right. That's right. This stream isn't even happening right now, okay, as far as we're concerned, okay? Keep it secret, keep it safe. So the there's this dynamic that happens. So I went professionally, I like to go hero mode. and Monocourt called this out, and in some ways there are times when it's necessary, but I don't make it a choice. I don't think about it. I just default to it. That's not good, right? So like doing the triages, I know you did call it out, but again, for some reason, it's like it's like I for some reason I'll acknowledge it. I'm like, sure, but I don't see it as like a problem until it comes up with Baji for some reason, and I hate it because that's probably not good. Because I should be able to recognize it in my other interpersonal relationships, but I don't. So I got to work on that one. But you know, at least if I see it with her, I'm like, okay, let's look at this. Let's find this elsewhere. And then I find it pretty quick. So I don't know. Like the one note you couldn't filter out, but psychologically, I guess I don't understand it as much. I think the there's a feeling of closeness that I have to Baji that makes me uncomfortable. So I look at it more intently. Right, but it shouldn't have to wait until severity, right? And also I think there's an element to it of like I underestimate the I think she deserves people being emotionally honest and kind. She's been more guarded recently. But like there was a time when and there's a reason for it. But there was a time when like you guys saw it. We didn't intend for that to be that way during that one live stream. Like she is able to be incredibly vulnerable while also being incredibly emotionally responsible. Hard to find that combination. So because she demonstrated a lot of vulnerability and also responsibility, like I don't want to especially in a VTuber. And that there are people like that kind of like pull on your heartstrings. A lot of my appeal, I think, as I've become consciously less vulnerable because I'm going through EMDR, and like I'm fine being vulnerable when I've processed shit, but I don't like processing shit live, right? I'll talk through things that I'm comfortable with that I have processed, but that's irresponsible, right? To do that live, right? Because like y'all aren't my therapist. I find this channel to be like lifestyle content. Being an artist, you have to live your life a certain way. You have to be emotionally intelligent to utilize yourself, but you have to be responsible, and that's a balancing it. And then the other thing that's challenging too, and the reason why I talk about like dynamics professionally, is because as a musician, as an artist, a lot of times your professional dynamics are your personal dynamics. So if I'm going to teach you guys, I also have to be a little transparent about the things that are going on, because what I want to advocate for is emotional responsibility, right? So that I'm uncomfortable with the fact that it happens, sure. But like it affects a lot of folks, right, who support me. So I like to be transparent about these things, again, once I've processed them. So yeah. Baji's been a bit shielded. I hope she's well. I don't know. You know, I'm trying to not push. She knows I'm available. But like, I never, she pushes herself plenty. So if she's deciding not to push herself in a certain way or is being a little guarded, fine. Right? Maybe that's for the best. I don't know. But I do trust her by and large. I think people can afford to trust her a bit more, to be frank. She's wiser than she should have needed to be, but anyway. The point in professionalism in going hero mode. And this is what I mean by, like, I still care about other people. Like, I care about Void. Right? I also respect Void, so it's a balancing act. Void is doing a lot on the audio side. Reinhardt is doing a lot on the animation side. There are people who are working very hard, and I have a compulsion to help. Monocork. Right? I've taken on a lot in terms of coordinating the Tamabajis and all that stuff. But I don't tend to make these things a conversation. That's the problem. Monocork might feel like I'm stepping on his toes. I don't know. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. There might not be a problem. Right? But it goes back to, like, when is hero mode about me versus when is it good for people? To do the triage, it's a hard balance, and its balance is active, right? So, and can we change this to just chatting for a second, and we'll get back to music and react. But the yeah. Yeah, so that's what we're going to meet about tomorrow, Void, and that's we're going to hound for the instrumental. So, but that's the value of talking to you about and letting you define what help is, right? So, and the main thing for me is, like, I can't let hero mode get something that I resent. I can't let the work be something that I resent. And yeah, molding it to fit every relationship. But I think, like, the common problematic dynamics are, okay, we need something done. Hold my beer. Let me roll up my sleeves. I even like this. I say that aloud. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. Someone's about to put on a cape and be a badass. I'm going to kick down the door. Right? Like, I like that. Right? I think one of the reasons I like 16 Amano, like, I respect the shit out of him professionally. The dude's a one-stop shop. He'll write the tune, he'll arrange the tune, he'll mix the tune. Like, he does everything, right? The guy's a one-stop shop. And he does it fast as fuck. There is plenty of work on tune time, but Jesus, this goes back to resentment. So what am I resenting? And it's funny, after this insight, I'm like, oh, I guess reacts aren't so bad. I felt reacts kept me from music. They don't. That's not that's not currently what's preventing me from doing music. It's audio stuff. It's production stuff. Right? I want to become a better singer. I want to audition again. I think it's important to have a fallback plan. Because, like, streaming is volatile, right? So, like, it's easy to get distracted on the priorities. I don't like doing everything. To make a music video is a very involved thing. And this is what Monocork's point was like, how do we solve this problem through process and systems? And so Schuster and Monocork have been mentoring me professionally to solve these things. And I sometimes push back, but I haven't pushed back in a way that has been totally honest. Because one, I enjoy hero mode a little bit. I enjoy the emotional narrative. That's a problem. Because then I get blind spots. And then 2, I'm willing to take on things without thinking about myself. So it's these 2 things that have been a problem in the Baji project, and could easily become problems like with Baji, working with her, right? With any collaborator and with any group project, right? So, yeah. So how do I solve for that? Right? I have to realize what the resentment is. And yeah, the lack of practice, the fact that I feel like I've gone backwards. I'm tired. And the problem with being tired is that in order to keep myself going, I usually have to rev myself up mentally. The reason Baji doesn't have to do that is she keeps her content insanely simple, right? She's not pushing to like necessarily learn new things, or if she's working on new things, it's like within a very comfortable spot, right? If my content were just karaoke and I kept it that simple, I could probably do it. Well, cognitive load, Alex, right? When you're familiar with the problem set, you can be tired and you can still be relaxed. I'm tired right now, and I have to solve things that I don't know how to solve for, right? Exactly, Jazzy Bot. Yeah. So like learning is painful. People want to sleep after my voice lessons, right? They want to take a fucking nap, right? I'm constantly learning. I don't let myself be comfortable, and I'll do that all fucking day. Task organization, I'm learning audio, I'm asking questions, I'm working on myself in therapy, I'm working on my interpersonal dynamics, I'm working with my community. Like, I'm always pushing myself, but my skill set is learning. I have learned how to learn. That's what I'm good at, really. The skill set I'm furthest along in is singing. Yeah, but ADHD could, like, there's plenty in singing to do. There's plenty of work in singing, and I don't get bored of it. The problem is, when you set your body up, set it in a schedule and stick to it, no matter what it is, you can do it even dead tired, but it takes a build up. But it's also like, you don't get the benefits of the versatility. Trying to do a few months, what takes people years to build up the systems for? Yes and no. I have help. If it were just me, yeah, the valid criticism. But I have help. Which for a long time I was very uncomfortable with. And I didn't, I fought it, which is really silly. So yeah. Sure, Jazzy Bot. Yeah. Yes. And I could do that with singing in terms of different styles, different genres, and doing that and beatboxing and all that stuff. There's a lot of ways to do that and zero in on that with singing, but it would be the same problem, wouldn't it? I'd still be like pushing myself. Yeah, for sure. For sure, Alex. Yeah. It's difficult. I think for me, the big thing is to what do I want? And I think the best way to exist on the internet, I don't like risk. I'm actually very risk averse, right? I don't like risk. I don't like being reliant on Twitch. And right now I am. And I used to have a stronger presence on YouTube. But I also don't like being reliant on reactions, because I don't want to just do react content. I want to do music. But one of the things that made me feel a lot better was I looked at how much music that I've made in the last few months, and it's in that playlist right now. Thank you, Spot. That's very kind of you. Let's see. It's a lot. It's a lot of music that we've made. 20. 2 of those being mono, and one of those 2 of those being a bit. So like 16 tracks. You know, and one of the bit is very musical. So like 16 tracks. Yeah. In like less than 6 months. So we've been making music plenty fast, you know. So like it's not the music making. It is a very steady clip, and I could do it faster. But to make that work from a content perspective, we need to have, well, not necessarily an album and a half a year because I didn't write any of it. So that's worth pointing out. Yeah. So like they're all covers or someone else wrote them, right? So it's just straight up execution of singing and audio. I don't get much. I like execution. I don't get much out of creating, and that might change. But I don't get much out of creating music. Like lyricism doesn't do it for me. You know, I like execution. I've always kind of been that way. So if I would grow quicker if I did reacts, but I know I resent if I'm not singing, right? So how do I make singing worthwhile? And also community, because that's a big deal, both to me personally, and then as a content creator, that's longevity, right? So personally and professionally. And I was trying to avoid about this. I was like, music videos are like the only thing that makes sense. And there are plenty of examples, right? There's Yusan, who fucking like personally fucking mentored me for like 3 hours, tore apart my, like showed me there was like, that's insane, right? Rosa and Saber, like the advantages that I have in pursuing music videos is crazy because of how much help I've gotten. And hey Maury, do I like doing music other people write? Yeah. I reach professional singers all the time. Yeah, that's my maybe Jessica, I wouldn't mind studio stuff, but could I do more stuff like the front page stream? Yeah, I could. I was gonna do something like that for the thing with Office Drummer, but like one of the things we got to do is focus. And the it is exhausting. It is very fulfilling. Karaoke streams are dope. I don't mind doing that. I think that what I'm realizing is that like if we want to make good music videos, we need to make a lot of them, and we need a process for that, and that is involved. Yeah, and there are ways to do that, and there are ways to do that well, and there are ways to do that faster. That could cut down on editing time, like if we used some FFmpeg stuff. You know, and we could do more of the parallax stuff. Like we could have like a pipeline, and then use a couple of art assets and animation stuff like that, and bring down, like we can look at who worked hard on the Bajiru project within the Sages and what they did and what they wanted to do, and be like, what was their output, and what do we think is fair to ask of them? Okay, what are the other shots? How can we make that process faster? Like we need a post-mortem on the video, because like I don't want burnout. I don't want hero mode shit. I mean, I love it when it happens, and I think to a certain extent it's very necessary, especially when you don't have process yet. Like the only way to make process is to make a fucking mess, right? you know, Reinhardt grinding like a fucking hero, me grinding like a hero. We're going to figure out what we need. Scope is one thing, for sure. But it's always like, you never really appreciate what is involved in doing a thing until you do the damn thing. You know what I mean? Kind of, Maury, yeah. But like, say for example, we wanted to redo the mix for Phantom to involve the community as a choir. Yeah, student recitals are tough to coordinate. Yeah, they're a bit. I'd rather all the things that we want to do, I'd rather put them into like what checks every box. Music videos check every box. Involving people, involving the community, check. We have a process for it because Saber and Rosa just fucking gave it to us, right? So check, right? Process for video, we're figuring it out. I have a few ideas to make things a little bit more simple. Yeah. No, I know, Void. But it's like one way it could be a thing that we do like student recital wise. If we get really good at music videos, we can make assets so that people can sing on stream to like backing tracks or whatever. And then it can be pre-recorded or done live on stream or something like that. But like it's not as inclusive as music videos. You know? Yeah, music videos are hard. And they don't do well. They don't do well on YouTube. They do well on platforms that are vertical, but then they're vertical. Right? So how do you deal with that? Do we start doing everything in 4K and then just cropping? Right? These are questions we have to answer. The answer is probably yeah. We probably have to film things in 4K a little bit. And use the more compressed format. Right? You know, and we can use FFmpeg scripts and stuff like that. But to rearrange video, if we have video and video stuff. Exactly. They're a loss, but so Ellie, like people say Ellie got big because of the Vettel raid, right? The Vettel raid brought her to 300 CCV. What brought her to 1000 CCV was her music. Right? Look at her YouTube. I mean, her video, like some of those videos are like at 1 million views, right? Like Iron Mouse video got me the 400 CCV. Right? Interviews are tough because chasing people down, concurrent viewership. So like what people judge the success of a streamer by. Like Michi hits 5,000 sometimes, right? Like, yeah. Interviews are great. Chasing people down is a nightmare. That's a really big time sink. If I do that, I'd rather do collabs through, again, music videos. I'd rather do that. Yeah, Void. Yeah. Like if you do the video and video acapella thing, it's super budget friendly. Yeah. Chalky videos are that way. Usound is really fucking smart. Usound's real fucking smart with their music videos. I've been studying the shit out of Usound and their music videos. Because Usound is very intelligent with the financial end of things. And they joke and they say they're irresponsible, but like you can see how they cleverly reuse assets to keep costs down while also continuing to tell a story. Usound's really fucking good at what they do. I have a collaboration hub, Jazzy. I've sent it out. People don't use it. Yeah. Also, I don't have a contact for Marco, right? Like there's a way, the way that I entered the community is insane. It's insane. And not usually how this shit works, right? So like if the first couple of interviews that I had with like Michi and Daryl and Rosa and all that shit, yeah, it's not repeatable, right? You want to talk to somebody, like it's a process. So to talk to Ellie, first of all, you can't have a fucking plan to meet somebody. They feel that. Content creators are very sensitive to people barking up for the wrong reasons. So you can never have a plan. So immediately as a plan for content, not going to work out, because then you start gaming and you treat people weird, right? So like the reason it worked, luck is a skill. Luck is luck. Luck can only be capitalized on when you have skill, I think. But hold on. Just watching the channel go off past tense. We're on a bit of decline now, but that's normal. That's like an ebb and flow of content creation. That's just normal. You kind of always have to chase the next thing. And by the way, if I just shout out a bunch of reacts, I'd be fine. I just can't stomach it right now. I'm going to do them because it's the Patreon React day. I'm probably going to have some lunch. Yes, Jazzy, but yeah, capitalizing on luck is a skill. No one's ever seen it happen that way. Library in the VTubing space anyway. It's been, there's a reason I caught a lot of attention from fucking Iron Mouse, from Vettel's people. Like I could have short-term wise, I could have capitalized on it more. I could have met more people. I could have done more. But I decided I wanted depth of relationships other than breadth. It's more than I wanted breadth of relationships. I think it's healthier. I don't want to collaborate with everybody under the sun. And I reverse. I don't have YouTube shout out as well as it should. There we go. Exactly. Maury. And like I learned, I wouldn't say the hard way. Like I learned, like not everyone's a good person, right? And there are people, even if someone's like a fine individual, there might not get along with another creator. So, unbeknownst to me, by associating with one creator, another creator might never want to talk. Like there are dynamics here that I don't know because I don't know the space. So if I had just like talked to everybody, short term, cool, long term, I have just a bunch of superficial relationships that what am I going to do with? What do I do when I've met everybody who wants to meet me? Right? It's likely because you like doing and sharing cool stuff without any, this is a bad idea at the start. Yeah, it's just the raw enthusiasm and passion and positivity. Yeah. True, Void. Thank you for that. I totally fucking forgot. Yeah. Oops. Oh, that's bad. I might have, so I'm going to probably have to kill the stream off of YouTube and go to Twitch. Thank you for that, because I totally fucking forgot. Damn. So, yeah, blame YouTube. Yeah, I don't want to strike. Yeah. Yeah, I got to make another profile. So I'll duplicate this one, log into Twitch on this one. All right. I think it'll work out. About to find out. I should have set this up beforehand. I'll be back in like ideally 15. Yeah. I'll be right back.